Hi everyone, this is Xenia here from Alexa Real Estate, and I'm just driving home from Aberfoyle Park where I've just listed an absolutely amazing property that I would love to share with you in other videos. I've just taken photos of this property. Now, the landlord is a first-time property investor. This is his place that he used to live in. This is his home that he is now using as an investment property because he's going to live elsewhere. And one of the things that he asked me at this meeting today was, what should I do with this furniture? So he's got the house decked out in amazing, beautiful furniture. So what should he do with it? Should he leave it in for the tenants that are going to be moving into that property? Or should he sell it or put it in storage? Or, you know, what should he do with it? That is a very valid question. And it's a question that a lot of first-time landlords actually ask. And also non-first-time landlords as well. You know, one of the questions that we get asked is, can we get more rent if we furnish the property? Very valid question. Now, the answer is, well, it's a little bit more complicated than just a yes or no, yes furniture, or no, don't furnish it, because there's a few considerations that I'd like to discuss here. One of them is, well, first of all, if your property is an executive style house, townhouse or something on the beachfront that you're using as short-term accommodation or Airbnb, then definitely it needs to be furnished. However, if it's a bread and butter 3-bedroom home that's going to attract a family, you've got to consider that most of those tenants, probably about 90% of those tenants or more, have their own furniture. So having furniture in a property is actually going to take away from that market, and it will attract a different market. It will attract a market of short-term rentals. Now, you don't want that market. You want, we're assuming that you're going for a longer term tenancy, you want to attract tenants who have their own furniture. So when we do open inspections, one of the things that tenants do is measure the fridge space. You know, they go and measure the rooms to see if their couches are going to fit in. So these guys have furniture. The normal tenants that are attracted to rental properties have furniture. So my preference is to rent it unfurnished because it makes things very easy. First of all, it makes things easier to rent because most people have furniture and they want to put their own furniture in the house. That's why they're measuring things. Now, the other thing to consider is that if you do actually leave the furniture in there, and assuming that you find a tenant that likes that furniture and wants to move in even long term, one of the things that you have to actually consider is that lease is now bound to the furniture. So you have rented a furnished home. That means that if anything breaks, even a chair or a couch or a refrigerator or a washing machine or anything that you have left in that property, then you are liable, the landlord is liable to actually replace that because it's part of the rental. So sometimes, every now and then, we go do an outgoing inspection, and the tenant or sometimes the landlord has actually left behind a fridge that fits perfectly in the fridge space, or a washing machine that fits perfectly in a built-in cupboard in the laundry or the kitchen or wherever they are. Now, in those cases, sometimes you can leave that furniture in there. My advice is to always exclude it from the lease. So if you're going to do that, I would actually write a clause in the lease to exclude that furniture from the lease agreement and actually gift it to the tenant that's moving in there if they want it. So you've got to get the permission from the tenant that's moving into the property, and ask them if they want this fridge, this washing machine, whatever it is that you're leaving behind in the property, and gift it to them, and write a clause in the lease specifically excluding that item from the lease. Now, this actually saves you in the long run, because if that item breaks or needs replacing or needs a part, then you're not responsible for it. If you're happy to be responsible for it and you've gotten them to pay an extra $5 a week in rent for the use of that item, fine, then you know that's worth the risk. But if you're leaving it in there and there's no increase in rent, you're better off excluding it, because you do not want to be paying, you know, $1,500 for a new fridge if it breaks, or you know, whatever the cost is. So that's my advice. I would love to hear yours. If you've got any stories about furniture in rentals, or any stories about getting rid of them or anything like that, I would love to hear it. And if I can help you with any property management needs, please give me a call, 0412 437 582. I would love to hear from you. All right, bye guys.